As a pastor, I come across many situations that no one could train me for, no one could prepare me for. And this is a situation where no one could prepare me. This is a situation where a deacon and myself, caught a burglar in our former church building, and no one can prepare you for that. A little caveat here: the gentleman has been convicted. He was convicted. He was given time served, about 7 months, 8 months, while he's waiting for trial. He was giving time served, and then we asked that he get probation instead of getting a couple of years of jail and like 1 year probation. We were really more after him getting like 6 years probation. So he was released upon agreement. He did several thousands of dollars worth of damage, but we were more concerned with what would he get more help with? How could he get more help versus putting him in jail for a couple of years, giving him a year probation, releasing him with no supervision. And so that's how it was resolved.
A local pastor in the business of helping people had to make a very difficult decision to protect his church. ABC Action News reporter Heather Lee tonight showing us how he kept a burglar from getting away.
A medium picture frame.
That's 18 by 12.
It was a tight squeeze for 49-year-old Miguel Otero Rivera, as Tampa police say he snuck into the Seminole Heights Baptist Church.
He was going from one room to the next room to the next room to the next room. He wasn't spending much time in a room.
Smashing glass and busting door jambs and handles. A mess Pastor Brant Adams is now cleaning up.
When you see someone destroying what other people are sacrificing to give to, he's stealing from them. He was stealing and hurting a lot of people.
Adams and the church deacon got early morning phone calls from the alarm company. Both showed up walking through the halls of the church when they noticed something off.
I approached that light on in that office. I knew something was wrong, and so I looked in there and I saw him in that office.
He says Otero Rivera was kneeling over a laptop bag. Adams was armed, and after calling out to the man, he pulled his gun and told him to get down on the ground, keeping a safe distance since Otero Rivera did what he asked.
Breaking news overnight.
A burglar stopped in his tracks by a heights.
I had the gun pointed at him and told him to get down. He turned around and he saw me with the gun on him. He immediately lay down on the ground.
Pastor Brant Adams says alarms started going off right before 1 at Seminole Heights Baptist Church on Hillsborough Avenue.
He didn't fight or nothing. It was nothing. He immediately laid down and stayed there. The police got there. His back's all cut up to where he crawled through broken glass, breaking windows and stuff.
Unfortunately, Pastor Adams says the burglar busted windows and kicked in doors, causing several $1,000s in damage. Now that suspect is in custody. Pastor says the suspect didn't talk much.
So as you can see here, he's walking around the outside of the building, a very, very disturbed gentleman. And he's just kind of watching out, see what's going on, throwing rocks at the windows, doing different things, just seemed dejected and quiet. It's him walking around the outside of the building. And so then here you see him down there, the bright light. You saw him as he was breaking the window. This is him inside the building. And then you're going to see him run back. He runs back because the alarm went off. Like I said, we had issues with false alarms, and he ran back and he hid for a few minutes. And then after the alarm went off, he went back in again and proceeded to knock out windows in the hallway. He busted through doors. When he was captured, when we found him, he had laptops for a food pantry and laptops for a free mobile dental clinic. After the thousands of dollars worth of damage that he was doing, he had basically had equipment that would cripple two very viable and important ministries through the food pantry and through a mobile dental clinic that offers free medical attention. And so as we came in, we see the light on. I flipped on the hall light, and we saw that he was already through 3 layers of office rooms. And so then that's when we walk in. At this point, we call the police, hold him, and he lays down and does exactly what we ask. Thank God. And here come the police. So, what did I learn from this? One, this was the first situation in a long and a several over the next few years that are going to be really things that um, no one could show me, no one could teach me. I just had to walk alongside of and walk through and learn and do with the information that I had at the time to do what was best and to be the pastor, to be a shepherd, to protect and serve a church congregation. And so this was one of many. There was a relocation that would come that we'll maybe make a video about that. I'm certainly going to make a video about walking with my mom through dementia as we were going through some stuff with relocation and getting that going, walking with mom through dementia and some other things. But this one thing I learned is I couldn't have done it without the gentleman you see with me. There was another gentleman that would come later, and there would have been 3 or 4 men that would have come had I called them. And so, as a pastor, we cannot do things on our own. We have to have godly men that walk alongside of us. And I am super grateful for that young man who was walking alongside of me at the time that was willing to follow me into a building. And we weren't sure what we were going to find. After we opened the door and we saw a light on where there shouldn't have been a light on, we knew someone is inside because there was several layers of lights on that should not have been on. And lights were on in rooms. There was only one way to get to it from the hallway. So he went through the walls or windows to get to those things. And so I learned that you got to have men with you. You got to have godly men walking alongside of you. One, you have to do what's right. You got to do what's right. And even if it's a sacrifice, even if it's scary, you got to do what's right, even if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. And probably the third thing that I learned, beginning to learn to this, is not everybody's going to understand why you do what you do. And that's okay. Some people will call you names. Some people will say nasty things. Some might even comment on this video. What I did was wrong. That's okay. That's okay. Um, I learned to do what God is leading me and to do what is right. And so, as I've been a pastor now as we're in 2025 for 13 years, almost 13 years now, almost 10 years. I've been with this congregation for 13 years, but almost 10 years now as pastor. I've learned a lot. And those 3 things: have godly men walk alongside of you, and you got to do what's right. And if people come and criticize you, just let them criticize you. No need to respond. Keep your head up, keep going, trust in the Lord, and He will be with you. I hope this was beneficial. It's certainly beneficial for me because just to relive it and also just to kind of decompress, because that was an emotional moment, a traumatic moment, and one that I didn't really ask for. Actually, I did not want to do the news. I didn't want to talk to the news media. I've tried to eliminate some of the catchphrases that were used in local broadcasts and different things. But a deacon we had at a time who's a wise man who told me, he said, you tell the story or they're going to tell it for you. And so we told our story. And so now I want to just share, maybe as a recap, 6 years later, what I've learned. So I hope you have a wonderful day and just trust the Lord and do what God has called you to do.